Good afternoon, and welcome to Jeff and the Rabbi. Have you ever seen, this is actually because I go on Facebook a lot, have you ever seen all those ads on Facebook where the guy is trying to get you to purchase a business opportunity? Even before you get to the meat of what he's trying to sell, you see an image of this guy standing in the driveway of a beautiful home next to his brand new Ferrari and a plastic-looking blonde-haired 20-something-year-old young woman. He is the picture of the man who has everything, right? This is the dream. You need to buy this plan so you can have it all, just like the guy in the picture. This must be what a successful life is all about. Think about it. You just have to take some online course, and then you will be a winner in life. You will have it all. Trophy house, trophy car, and a clueless, dim-witted, hot trophy girlfriend. What else can any man want? Is this really all that it takes? Well, as I always say, if it were that easy, even the Goyim could do it. Now, I'm not knocking the bleach blonde ignoramuses. Some of my best friends are blondes. But isn't there a little more to a fruitful life than spray tans and vapid conversations about whether Kendall Jenner's bra size is bigger than her dad's? Well, to make the fairly short jump from the Kardashians to the Torah, I would say there might be just a little more. When Esau met his brother Jacob on the road, he told him he has much in life. Which makes sense since he had a lot of goats and 3 wives, one of them an Arab chick and 2 Canaanite beauties. They were kind of the dumb blondes of his day. Jacob responded back by saying he has everything. Although he did not drive a souped-up donkey cart with mahogany rims like his brother, and his women weren't wearing the latest Amalekite miniskirts, he had the whole enchilada. Jacob had a relationship with his Creator. He lived his life with a purpose that was given to him by God. This gave a real meaning to his existence. This is what having everything in life is all about. So maybe somewhere inside of all of us is implanted the code to the true meaning of life. Maybe the reason that so many seemingly successful people are so unhappy is that they never realized the path to success has been with us all along. And we don't have to buy into a fictitious fantasy or even click our heels together 3 times. Maybe like Dorothy and Oz finally realized, she never had to go out searching for her heart's desire. She always had the power to find it all along. Sorry, I teared myself up there a little bit with that one. So let's see if the rabbi can lead us back down the correct colored brick road and teach us how to truly find a life worth living.
Right. And do you know that Oz in Hebrew means strength?
I didn't know that.
See, Oz is strength.
Well,
so there you go. Yeah, I knew it all comes back to Oz, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jacob and Esau are very different people. The question really is, what is it with this Esau fellow? What do people think about, when they're accumulating all these material goods and all that? Why are people doing that? How many people have homes and then more homes and then more homes and cars
keep buying more
and more cars and then more cars, and how many can you drive? And when you ask them when's the last time you visited, well, I never get to that home because I'm so busy in my other home and I never get. So what's going on? Why do people have that need to buy? And maybe you'll say, well, it's taxes. They need the tax breaks, but there really is something going on there. It's really an important thing to realize, and it's cued in by the Torah if we really focus on some exact wording. You mentioned that when Jacob and Esau are going to meet each other, Jacob ran away because Esau wanted to kill him, because Jacob took the blessings from Esau, right. So he had to run away. Now it's years later, Jacob is coming back, and Esau's still mad at him. They're going to have this big clash. Esau's coming with 400 men. So specifically, Esau's coming with 400 men. He's planning to just kill Jacob and everything that he has. Jacob tries to butter him up by sending him successive waves of gifts and gifts and gifts.
Right.
Finally, when they meet each other, Esau says, "What's with all the gifts?" And Jacob says, "Oh, it's just because you're a great man, and I look at you like I look at that God, and you're a powerful person, and everything like that." And Esau says, "Keep the gifts. I've got a lot." And Jacob says, "No. I don't need the gifts back. I have everything." Interesting.
Oh, wow.
He says, "I have everything."
Yeah.
And by the way, then he pressures Esau, and Esau says, okay, I'll keep the gifts. Now, Esau said he had a lot. He didn't need any of those gifts, but he took them anyway.
Takes them anyway, okay.
Jacob has nothing, really. I mean, has not so much, but yet he says, I have everything. How could that be? How could it be that Jacob has a lot,
that's a good question.
everything? Nobody has everything. And on the other hand, what's with Esau? He has so much, and yet he needs so much more? Like, what's going on? And everyone usually says, well, Jacob is satisfied with his lot. And if you're satisfied with your lot, then you have everything.
Right.
But I think it's actually a little bit deeper. Let's first talk Esau. Why does Esau need so much stuff? I think the answer to that is because Esau knows that there's nobody at home.
I agree with you there.
He is zero. Now, the only way that he can assure himself that he's a somebody is if there's people around him. He travels with 400 men all the time. Never goes anywhere without his entourage. He's got to have his entourage, and he's got all this wealth and everything. He has to. He lives by the sword. That means he has to dominate other people. If he doesn't dominate other people, then maybe he's not really better than them. And he knows actually inside that he's really not better than them. The only way he maintains his superiority is by dominating, showing, displaying, and even to himself. When he wakes up in the middle of the night, he's got to look out and see all of his stuff.
All right.
He's got to see like at least
piled up there. You can see it.
6 sports cars in the circular drive in front of his house, all with vanity plates.
Right.
And he says, yeah, I'm a powerful guy.
Right.
But if he doesn't have all that, there's really nobody home. That's why it's very interesting. It talks about Jacob. Jacob goes the other direction. See, Jacob is not just satisfied with what he has. Jacob says, I have everything. What does that mean? So I would propose it's not just that Jacob has everything, meaning he's satisfied. Jacob actually goes a step further. Jacob says, whatever I have is what I need. You know why? God gives me what I need. So I wait and see what I have, and that defines what I need. I don't need first.
That's interesting.
I don't need first and then go out and try to have it, in which case I decide, well, do I have what I need or I don't have what I need? No. I always have what I need because what I need is what I have. And I don't even know what I need. I'll give you a great example. Jacob goes off to find himself a wife. He thinks he needs only one wife. He only wants one.
Right.
He ends up with 4. Now, through no fault of his own, it just happened that way.
Sounds like a bad weekend in Vegas.
Yeah. He ends up with 4 wives, right? So
Yeah.
Jacob says, well, I guess I didn't think that I needed 4 wives, but I guess it turns out I do, because that's what God said. That's what he sent me. So if he sent it to me, that's what I must need, and that's what I must have to utilize. That's why Jacob goes back after they break camp. Jacob left behind a few little pots. He went back for the little jugs that he left behind. Why? Because God gave them to him. When God gives you stuff, you realize that I must need that stuff and have to find out a way to utilize that stuff. So if God gives Jacob talent, ability, monetary, material wealth, or whatever he gives him, he's saying to Jacob, this is what you need. That's why I gave it to you.
Wow.
Figure out how to use it.
Oh,
So Jacob always feels fulfilled. Jacob always feels he's got everything he needs. And not only that, Jacob can actually be alone because Jacob knows that he's a real person. He's a somebody. Esau, and that's why it says Jacob went back across the river and he was alone. Jacob can be alone. You know, if Esau was ever caught alone, he'd disappear.
Right.
He'd vaporize.
You have nothing to tell him who he is.
Right. No servants, no wives, children, wealth, no nothing. Totally defined by what he has, not by who he is, but what he has.
Wow.
Jacob goes the other direction, totally defined by who he is. What he has just tells him where he needs to use his energies and what he needs to do with himself. Matter of fact, it's pretty exciting because every day Jacob receives something, whatever it might be. he receives something else. Oh, I wonder why God sent that to me. So he's receiving things from God every day. Gets these gifts, and let's see, what does God want me to do with this? What does God want me to do with that? I see that my crop multiplied my flock multiplied this past year. Well, I wonder why God did that. God. So God's interacting with him all the time. He's a real person. Esau, as much as he collects, he's got to collect more. And I'll tell you something else. He can't stand anyone else that has anything. Because as soon as he has something, the only reason he's a somebody is because he's on the top of the hill. So when he buys the Tesla, he's feeling great. Everyone, ooh, we got the Tesla. Then the kids come by and they want to look at it. Can I get it right? Hey, Mr. Esau, can I get it right in your Tesla? So he's feeling good. The guy across the street buys a Tesla. He hates that guy.
He's got to be keeping up with Ishmael's.
Yes. He hates him now because now my Tesla's not worth anything. So he's got to buy something else, whatever that is.
Wow.
Used to be a Hummer, and then it's a Tesla, and it'll be something else. And there are people that will keep working on coming up with new things for the Esau's to buy because they need it to define themselves.
Wow, we must be living. I know a lot of Esau's these days. I think about it. A lot of the people I know are Esau's.
Yeah, right. So I can tell you all about it. I just spent the weekend in L.A.
Okay, so you went to the land of Esau here.
Right. It's pretty intense.
You should see the rabbi when he came in. He had to make him take off all his bling. He had all his bling on here. He said, "No, that's not going to work on the show."
That's right.
Very embarrassing.
Yes, but that's when I took it all off. Like, that's it. That's all we got.
Right.
But that's what makes him a somebody. And if he were to wake up in the middle of the night and nobody would be around, Esau probably had this big E. All his soldiers went running with an E. Absolutely. And he had hotels that had an E, and all his camels had a big E on them.
Guarantee that.
The tents, the E. And he wanted to see that wherever he went, and that told him that he was a somebody.
But so the question is then, was God giving Esau all these things to see if he could take the new donkey cart that he got there and use it for good stuff, or what? And he just failed the test, or because God obviously kept giving him more and more good things.
So Jacob blessed Esau. Isaac blessed Esau that he would have material wealth in this world. He knew that that's what he needed. So he gave him, you'll have a lot of material wealth in this world. Of course, when you're done, you're going to be all done.
He blessed Esau with this.
He blessed Esau with material wealth. So Esau would have a lot of it, make him feel good all the time. And he says, and you'll live by the sword. Why? Because you're going to have to go out and keep getting more material wealth all the time. You're never going to be satisfied. You're always have to be conquering something else and someone else. And therefore, that's what he blessed him. He said, that's what you're going to need, my boy. Right? But Jacob, when Jacob went to Laban, he went with nothing. He says he crossed the river with his stick. That's all he had. And then he came back and he's wealthy. If he's wealthy, he's feeling good. If he's poor, he knows how to survive. He can be alone and still be a somebody. And that's a pretty big deal. When you can go to bed at night and you know that you are a person, that's good. But if you have to worry as you're laying in bed, what am I going to do tomorrow to show off? How am I going to show up tomorrow looking good with the latest, with the newest? I'm sure everyone is going to have to be talking on Tuesday about what great Monday cyber deal they got. If you didn't get the best deal, then you're nobody. And if the guy across the cooler tops you because he got a better deal,
So, but then the real question is for the rest of us learning from this. So you got Jacob, who obviously somehow, he taught well by his parents, or he's got his connection with God, has learned that somewhere inside of him is the key. It's deep inside him, or not that deep in Jacob. He knows what his life's about. His life is not about driving the nicest donkey cart. His life is about serving his Creator. So he looks at everything, I'm assuming, tell me if I'm wrong, he looks at everything that he sees in life, whether he started with Leah, even though he wanted Rachel, all the things in life, the way he got his goats at the end by the different colors or whatever it is.
Right.
Everything is a gift from God.
Right.
So that everything that he does, whether he still has to work, he still connives his brother out of his inheritance, but everything is something he's doing with an ultimate goal of serving God.
Right. He sends all these gifts to Esau. He takes a lot of this wealth that he received from Laban, he sends it to Esau. So Jacob doesn't say, rats. I finally got some money and now I got to give it all away to Esau. Jacob says, oh, wasn't that great that God gave me all this
Right.
wealth because I know I'm going to be now I'm not needing it. I was wondering what I needed it for. Now I know. Wonderful. Isn't it so nice of God to be taking care of me? And he paid it already in advance, so I had it to send off to Esau. A great way of living life. You can go to bed at night and feel good about yourself.
See, but then, are the Esau's of the world, do they also have that same thing inside of them, but just haven't found it, haven't dug that deep, or is that your ultimate goal in life, is to dig down and find out, wait a minute, this house, this car, everything I do is for the purpose of finding God, or is it, not everybody doesn't have
I
that.
don't know about Esau, but I know that if people stopped and started and turned it around and said, okay, what I have, what can I do with it? Everything that I have has been given to me. That defines my needs. Start thinking about them. What can I do with it? One guy's got good looks, and the other guy's got lots of brains. The other guy's got a nice voice, and the other guy's just got a lot of money. What can I do with it that's of value? And that will start to change the whole look. And then when you're all done, you feel good about yourself because you actually did something. You're living a life of value, and you really don't need all that stuff.
Or maybe you do, but you need it for the purpose of value, as you said
Yeah.
about Jacob. I mean, he needed it because he had to go.
I think if people start living this way, like, Cyber Monday would crash.
That would
Because
be
people
sad.
would say, like, wow, I haven't even figured out what I need all the stuff I already have for.
Right.
Maybe I'll just take a year off so I can figure out, like, what I'm going to do with the stuff that I have.
Or what would really do well is eBay, because a lot of people would be putting
Yeah.
their stuff up on eBay. Their stock would go up.
That's right. Maybe I need to, like, turn all these 5 George Foremans
Right.
that I have. Maybe I need to turn them into cash.
So what we should do, we should watch how many people view this show today, and the viewership is up. We buy more stock on eBay because that means people are going to take this stuff and say, I don't need this anymore.
That's right. Sell on Cyber Monday.
Sell.
Sell. Don't buy.
Don't
Sell.
buy. Wow, very interesting. I have to admit, this is a very interesting take. I didn't know that's where we were going with this here. Very,
You never know.
very
See?
interesting stuff.
I gotta keep it like a little surprise.
This is good. I think it's a good message. It's a good message, especially this time of year when everybody's looking to buy. We need more. We got to give. Maybe that's not. Maybe they don't actually need to give that brand new George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
Maybe give them a little bit, a little bit of lessons in life.
Maybe if you buy a little less on Cyber Monday, you have a little bit more to give on Giving Tuesday.
Oh, is that really called Giving Tuesday?
Yeah.
Or you just made that up?
No, it's called Giving Tuesday.
I didn't know that. Wow, you see?
It comes the day after Cyber Monday,
I
which is
didn't know that.
2 days after, 3 days
Well, so-
after Black Friday,
Right, so
which is
why Giving Tuesday isn't
which is-
doing that well, I guess. Yeah.
We're gonna tell you about Giving Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
That's not a good one. All right. Well, I think this, if anything, in this time of year, for you people out there that are searching for a message at this time of year, I think you got it. That's really all you need. Send this to your friends. That would be a good gift.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week.
Oh, for sure.
We'll be back
Absolutely.
next week to discuss more about how you should feel this time of the year.
Yeah.